Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to a video I did about 2 months ago titled 51-Year-Old Father Makes Major Life Comeback After Ending Unhappy Marriage and Discovering RP Content. And guys, that video definitely was a really good one to cover. I really enjoyed it. This is about the guy, this is a quick refresh, this is a guy who was born and raised by his mom and grandma to pretty much be the nice guy gentleman that is portrayed in all the movies. And to no surprise, by having that kind of upbringing, he was really jerked around and treated badly by the gals. And he also then eventually married really young, like 20 or 21 years old, ridiculously young. Married his wife, was married 25 years, and eventually, to no surprise, she cheated on him. She cheated on him because she was an a-hole, we can all agree there, but also this guy was just that pleaser, nice guy husband, the total blue pill type of guy, and got that type of treatment. Also in that marriage, he became very, very overweight to the point that he was obese. So it was just a downward spiral for the guy, depression, all that. And it was a really bad place. And the only silver lining to the whole thing is he had a daughter, which he truly loved. Well, eventually the wife cheats on him. He finds out. She wants to divorce him. It's a big, ugly mess. But it ended with him making his comeback. The guy started losing a bunch of weight, got a better job, started working on himself, got a promotion at work, started casually dating, doing some hookups and stuff like that. Being careful, though. And he's really on the up and up. And he wrote to me thanking me for my help because the channel really helped him as well as other channels. And so today he's providing an update to how things have been going in his life and all that. And some good wisdom that he's compiled from not just my channel but other channels about the gals nowadays. I thought was a very good thing to end it with. So it starts off, or continues. He says, "Hi SSM. I am the 51-year-old father that wrote to you your letter last June about how I found your videos and how this has helped me out in a low moment of my life and how this led me to become an R-pill man. Well, first of all, I really want to thank you for sharing my story. I've been having interesting experience since I took this path. Just to let you guys know, it's not only can you turn your life around 180 from the blue pill programming, but in many aspects turn your life for the better." Exactly. That's what I've been preaching since day one, guys. Look, life happens. Shit happens in life. That just comes out of nowhere, and we got to deal with it. And we can either just crumble and let it affect our lives, or we can turn it around and we can find ways to look at ourselves and find ways to better ourselves, or it can be done, guys. And this guy's a perfect example. I want all you guys, no matter what, trying to better yourselves and better your lives. He says, by the way, my friend Nancy, maybe you can remember who she was my platonic crush, also sends her regards to you and the whole community. I shared the video with her and she was very pleased about it. This is a gal he was friends with at his work after his wife dumped him and he found out she was cheating. And she was a good friend to him and really helped him kind of get his confidence back. She was married, so he didn't go there, you know. And obviously had a crush on her at the time. Well, she wasn't married at first, but she was engaged. He found out later. But anyhow, he shared the story with her. So, well, hello, Nancy. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. He says, I've been doing well since I discovered the R-pill path. And the only thing I'm sorry is I didn't learn about this since I was young. To clarify a couple things, there were a lot of events I left out because it would be so long, but perhaps I should mention with a deep feeling of shame about myself, that I've been in almost all blue pill nice guy, Captain Save-A-Ho, etc., that a man can endure. He says, very sad, bro, but true. My ex did betray me several times prior to that event about Henry, the husband of Fanny, who's from South America, in my original post. Although that hit me hard, I forgave my ex and tried to fix things in the relationship, but I was only delaying the inevitable. Yes, you were. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You should have ended it right then and there, bro. But, you know, it was the past. You can't change that. Anyway, you all know how it ended. Nowadays, like I said in my first post, she and I are on good and friendly terms, but we put all that behind us and now are just focused on our daughter's future, separately, of course. Yeah, for your daughter's sake, you can get along and be amicable. She's, in my opinion, a piece of shit, but she's your daughter's mother, and if you both can get along, fine, it is what it is. And once your daughter's obviously above the age of 18 and adult, then you don't have to talk to her fucking ass ever again. After my surgery, I tried to date and sign up for different dating apps. And in my humble opinion, every man should stay away from those stupid apps because they're a den of thieves, hoes, cheaters, gals from abroad who are trying to get a man to move to a country with a better economy. Single MOMs are desperately trying to rope any guy who's dumb enough to date them to fix their problems, specifically the money problems. And last but not least, the scammers. Believe me, you're not going to find a decent, loyal wife material going on those apps. Don't fool yourself, guys. Yeah. I mean, just it's a cesspool out there. The worst is Tinder. Well, there's a lot. Just gotta be careful, guys. And there's a lot of people that'll prey on lonely guys, desperate guys, and they'll think, okay, this girl likes me, and you know what happened. He says, I did have some dates from those apps, surely, but only to bump into gals with a ton of issues. I'm certainly not painting myself as a saint. In those days, I was a very simple man. I only wanted to find a woman, a decent woman who shares my own values, because I felt myself alone. And I thought that a woman would make me a better man, but boy, how wrong I was. A lot of guys think that. That's the crap they show in the movies. The woman's going to make the guy a better man and complete him and that crap. Bullshit. We ourselves can make ourselves better men. We have the power to do so. Somebody else is going to do it. That's the bullshit they sell in movies. And I knew you fell for it. I tried to be very understanding and a supportive man, only to find out that they were only using me. I even had a long-distance relationship for a couple of years with a single MOM who had really loved her despite we had never had the opportunity to be together due to the pandemic, because she's from another country. He says, I know, I deserve a huge smack in the back of my head with a frying pan. Yeah, you do, dude. Come on. 2-year long-distance relationship and a single MOM. She wanted you for your resources to help out. It is very hard for guys who spent their whole lives with the blue pill programming and nice guy programming to shake that. It takes a lot of time. You can watch my videos to your ears explode, but still it's going to take a long time to really get that bad programming. He's 51, and the longer you've been brainwashed into that BS, the longer it'll take. But you'll get there. To make the story short, all those situations brought me to start questioning me about what's wrong with me and what's wrong with women. Is it me or is it them? I was super confused, but also I need to mention a huge red alert to all men who are discovering the R-pill way. Prior to start looking for dates, I started to watch a lot of dating coaches on channels on YouTube, trying to understand what I need to do to get dates and to women to get interested in me. Surprisingly, most of these dating coaches are women. They'll never tell you the truth about female nature, especially nowadays. They'll tell the viewers that women are a little complicated creatures that men need to understand and treat with delicacy, because sometimes they treat men with the usual, number 1, reply to guys' messages 2 or 3 hours later because they are busy. He says, yeah, right. Number 2, testing men because that is a natural trait of women and they mean no harm. He says, BS. And also 3, to take her to a date to a nice place, fancy if possible, to show her how you care and you can be romantic, because girls like romantic dates according to these coaches, just to mention a few. Guys, I've said this countless times, I'll say it again. For you relationship guys, do not take dating and relationship advice from women, okay? Don't do it. Now, I've said before, and I'll be fair, there are some that kind of get some things I talk about, a little here, a little there, but at the end of the day, they're going to do what's in interest for them, okay? And he mentioned it right here, watching these female dating coaches, because I guarantee in his mind, he figured, well, they're women, they're so-called dating coaches, they probably know because they're women, so it makes sense to listen to them. Wrong. How many times have you guys taken advice from girls you knew, friends, relatives, coworkers about girls, and you took their advice because you thought that made sense, and it blew up in your face? And if you don't believe me, okay, keep taking advice from them and see what happens. He says some of them, the female coaches, did suggest that in case a girl you're dating and maybe playing games with, such as ghosting you, let your messages unchecked but not reply after 3 or 4 hours later or next day on the excuse that she was too busy, shit testing you to see how you react. It would be a good idea to go no contact with her for a period of 2 weeks to 3 months until she reaches you to talk. By the way, guys, English is not his first language, so some of the words get a little jammed together, so bear with me here. He says, I just mentioned a very few things these coaches recommend males to increase their SMVs in order to increase their chances to find a good girlfriend or spouse. Tips that I tried to apply always in my life. And some of them did work, but sadly it attracted mostly the wrong gals because they are always on the hunt for the blue pill prey. Yes, they are. He says, let me tell you something. It was no joke when I told you that since the day I found your videos, it was a life-changing event for me. A few days later since the first video, I unsubscribed to all of them because I felt that they refused to expose the reality of the dating game of these times. They failed to expose the women's real nature about how women see men. Of course, because that would them have to admit that there's something wrong with them. And remember, they're going to do things to help them. And also, being fair here, a lot of them simply don't get it. A lot of gals do not get what drives them to be attracted to the bad boys. They say they hate the bad boys and they want the nice guy. But what do? They date the bad boys. They chase the bad boys. And they're horrible to the nice guys. Since I turned to the R-pill way, I've been battling very hard with my former blue pill programming, trying every day to eradicate it from my system, and I feel very well since then. The older you are, the harder it is, guys. I've been fighting my natural need to project an image of protective and supportive man, husband material, to turn into a man who doesn't look for dates or chasing women, and definitely a man who's not seeking a girlfriend or a spouse, without being a woman hater or an a-hole upon them. And guess what? Now that I'm not seeking partners, now they're interested in me. What the F is wrong with their heads? I'm going to read that again. Now that I'm not seeking partners, now they're interested in me. Translation, you don't give a crap anymore. You're not coming from this hungry, desperate, thirsty state. You're just going about your life. You've gained this knowledge. You're not chasing after them. You've actually learned to take a step back, and look what happens. They're chasing after you. That's how it works. Bad boys don't give a crap. I don't give a crap attitude. They can take them or leave them. Bad boys give off that vibe that, hey, I could be hooking up with 10 other girls right now if I wanted to. So, women can pick that up. End of story. They know when a guy's desperate. They know when a guy's trying too hard. But when you don't care and you're indifferent, you're not trying too hard. You're relaxed to yourself. And they notice that and they're drawn to it because every other guy's chasing after them, especially if they're good looking. He says, in my daily workplace, almost everyone knows something about my former marriage, but they don't know all the details. Also, I have mentioned a couple times I had bad experiences in the past and that those experiences have showed me that I'm better off single. He says, I haven't mentioned them about my R-pill ways. Suddenly, mostly female coworkers are telling me things like, now listen to this, oh, you need to meet more women. Not all women are like that. Those were a few bad ones you had bad luck to meet. You need a good wife to complete you. You're a very handsome man, very skillful, and any woman would be so lucky to have you as a husband. I need a man like you at home. Why are you still single? You need a wife to take care of you at home and cherish you. All things like that. Of course they're saying that, either because that goes with the whole mindset that they have, the whole narrative, or they're looking for it because this guy now is working on himself. He's lost a ton of weight. He's looking good. He got a promotion at work, Of course they're saying this. Don't fall for it. Now, sure, like I've said, and I know a lot of guys will be like, oh, SSM, that's bullshit. There are still some, and I'm going to repeat, some gals out there that do have some of the older school traditional values that could be relationship material, but they are very few. And you got to be careful. And even they can pull the BS that naturally gals do. And if a guy isn't that strong, if he's not a leader, if he goes with the whole happy wife, happy life mentality, if he's a pleaser, he's a butt kisser, he doesn't check the girl, he puts all her wants and needs first, even these traditional conservative gals that are actually worth your time, they're going to turn on you. So you got to be a freaking man here and not be one of these P-whip guys. The type of guys they show in TV and movies, the blue pill programming. You do that, you're toast, even with the good ones. It says here, I mentioned that this attention comes mostly by my female coworkers because I'm really busy all day working because I decided to take action to improve my financial situation in order to prepare the ground for a couple personal projects to open a business where I live and also in the country I come from, so I really have little or no time to socialize or go clubbing or to parties for the moment. Yeah, they're chasing after you because they see a man on his grind. They see how you've improved yourself big time on multiple fronts. And women like an ambitious guy, a guy who's on his grind. And not to mention, you're not chasing after him like the rest of the guys that are probably at your work. And by the way, I should mention this because I forgot to say it. Even if you would even consider dating one of the gals from your work, don't do it because you work with them. That place is for business. It's for earning your living until you can eventually have your own business and you don't work with anybody else. Do not date any of your female coworkers. Is it worth getting fired over when they start some drama because you didn't call them back or text them as fast as you should have or whatever? You get my point. As I mentioned in my first post, I've been watching not only your channel but other channels focusing on this matter, and I've been collecting very important knowledge about female dark nature, and I've seen a pattern that I call the female commandments mindset, where I collect some of the women's mindset shown in all the cases that I've seen along the last 6 months of viewing all the cases from your videos and other channels. Now he's going to break down, there are 11 commandments. I don't know why it couldn't be just 10, but we have 11 here. And they're really good, so you guys will like this. He says, okay, the female commandment mindset. Number 1, the first one of the female commandment mindset, you deserve all the best of everything just to be you. Number 2, first marriage is for money, second marriage is for love. In case the second goes wrong or fails, then go to the first one. Number 3, use the I love you to lower his defenses. Make sure your beta male provider falls madly in love with you. That makes him confused and not knowing what to do in case he discovers your affairs. Shock and awe female tactic. Number 4, always monkey branch until you reach the top tiers to marry them. Or you have the gals that will keep trying to monkey branch, and then next thing you know, they're in their 40s, and none of these guys are interested. They get older, and none of the guys are interested in them anymore, and then they're like, where are all the real men? I wanted to have a family. Where are all the real men? Number 5, women's feelings count, men's feelings don't. Number 6, male nature is to be used for females' advantage. Number 7, always keep as many men lined up to contact you in case your beta male provider bails off. How many girls have a whole rotation of dudes, orbiters if you will, just waiting to get their chance with them? Number 8, use sex to get what you want. Number 9, be an excellent actress. Play the role of the good woman to catch the man you need. How many stories have I done where guys they meet that gal, they think she's amazing, puts on the whole show, they rush into marriage, then boom, goes Dr. Jekyll to Miss Bitch. That's why I tell guys to spend years getting to know the girl if you're going to get that serious to get married one day. Number 10, in case you have an excellent beta male provider, make sure to keep him spending on you. Baby trap him if you need. Always use the children as leverage. It is so sad how children are used as leverage for them to get what they want. It's amazing to me. Literally, like that kid is the insurance policy they can get money down the road for the ones that marry the guy, know darn well they're not in love with him, they're only marrying him for his resources. And number 11, make sure to get married. Use your husband for your own and only your own benefit. That makes you win 50% of all his assets in case of a divorce. Laws are always in favor of the gals. Use them for your own benefit. Yeah, that pretty much sums things up, dude. Very good analysis. He says, I'm mostly a man who likes to defragment scattered information and put everything organized in order of categories. So I came to the list of traits that made me understand more efficiently how women think nowadays. Of course, I'm sure not all of them share the same values, but the problem is there is no tech device to reveal which woman is a high value from the unicorns. So my opinion is to date women who have hookups, but never ever let your guard down. Always be suspicious. It might sound like a little bit paranoid, but it makes you always smart and alert. Dude, after what you've been through, I don't blame it all for having your guard up. All guys should have their guard up. The problem is that guys don't know any better to have their guards up. I've done probably over 1,100 videos on this channel and probably close to 200 on the others. And all the stories I've done and all the stories I've read but didn't do videos on, plus my extended life experience. I mean, I could do a 10-part series on my life experience that got me to where I am. And all the stories from dudes I know have brought me to the conclusion of what I talk about is quite accurate nowadays. So this guy's right on the money with everything he said in his 11 dating commandments or whatever the hell that is, or female commandments. And yes, a man has to be on his guard. The old trust but verify thing. It says, finally, as for myself, I've been good at focusing on my purpose. I see more women are interested in me despite my age. Sadly, most of them are single MOMs or just I'm not really attracted to some of them. I had hookups and a friend with a friend with benefits whose body is really hot for her age. He says, I'm 51 and she's 45. We are not a couple because neither of us wants to get married or live together, so I don't invest feelings on her. Be very careful, bro. You said you got single MOMs that are interested in you. Don't waste your time. I'm telling you now, don't waste your time. And as for any gals that claim they don't ever want to get married again, don't buy it. Because it's been my experience, what I've observed is that eventually they will. They may say that, hoping to rope the guy in because he says he doesn't want to get married again. And they either think that they can change his mind or just they want to get married and they say they don't, but they really do. Be careful. He says, thank you, SSM, for the great job you're doing for all men on the planet. More and more men are realizing that it's not worthy to date or marry most of the gals out there. Media are bringing up this phenomenon to the public eye, but are still trying to twist the facts due to the grip of the feminist movement in most of the media, such as TV, radio, and printed media. Because changing laws to level the game in favor of men would mean a massive turmoil in the streets because the feminist movement would lose the power they have been built over the last few decades. Everybody can see what's going on, but the mainstream media refuses to bring this up as it is. And more feminist politicians are doubling up their efforts to push for more and more laws in favor of the gals and to enforce the man's image as the non-essential member of the family, and last but not least, the root of all evil. Yeah, how men are absolutely essential members of the family, and it is painted like that. The woman can do everything and raise the kids, and you know what? Nowadays, at least here in the United States, a woman can get a damn good job, make darn good money, and she can certainly take care of herself, provide, love the kid, the boy. But guess what? That boy needs a father. He needs a masculine role model because the mom doesn't get all those things. And I don't think it's an accident that what we have right now with all these young guys meandering around with no direction, no real work ethic, no real values, any of that stuff, because they need that father when they were young, not only give them guidance, but also give them a good slap upside the head. And I don't mean beating your kids. I'm just, you know what I mean, guys. To be tough on the boy when he needs it. Because guess what? Us guys, we all know darn well when we were boys, we were rascals, right? You need that father to lay down the law. And moms are always softer on the boys than the girls. You know, they can be tough on the girls, but the boys, they let things slide because they're a boy. My mom did it to me. My grandma did it to me. Okay, well, my dad was tough on me. And my uncle, my godfather, was tough on me, you know. While my mom was tougher on my sister. My grandmother was tougher on my sister. See what I'm talking about here? Boys need a masculine role model, and we are absolutely essential. And if things keep going as they are, I don't want to think about how bad it is. Anyhow, he says here, however, online independent media like your channel are bringing the truth and reality as it is. Thank you again, SSM. Keep fighting the good fight. Well, brother, I'm glad to hear from you. I'm glad you're doing well. And like I said before in the last video, keep focusing on yourself. Keep bettering yourself. Like I'm assuming you're working out and going to the gym, doing something to keep healthy because you've lost the weight. Keep trying to do well in your job, and I think that's great. You want to start your own business. Make sure before you start that business, make sure you consult anybody that has business experience to make sure things don't get screwed up. Make sure when you're starting that business, you have everything you need, you know, everything legally accurate, the right insurance, talk to an accountant, a tax guy, all the things you got to do, and really figure out and consult other businessmen who you might know for all their ideas. Consider them like your board of directors. Seek out people that are smarter than you or have specialties to help you achieve what you want to achieve. And the sky's the limit in terms of just working smart and working hard. But also be careful with those gals. I know you're dating. I know probably one day you're going to be looking for a gal you can be with. I get that feeling about you. Just be very careful. Keep watching my channel. Keep watching other channels. Keep learning, practicing. Your old blue pill ways will fade and evaporate as time goes on, but it's going to take some time. But you will get there. So write me in 6 months. Let me know how you're doing, because I'm really proud of you, man. It goes to show you guys, he's 51 years old, and an old dog can learn new tricks. And now I'm not saying he's old, but he certainly isn't young anymore. Okay, I'm 44. You're 51. I'm going to be there in 7 years, and I'll go by like that. And I won't consider myself old, but I will realize I'm not the spring chicken I once was. But you can do it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Give this guy some praise for his progress. And also, guys, you got a good story like to share, by all means, email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time and I'll get to it down the road. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.